Hello, my name is Josh Haney, and I wanted to talk to you about what I learned from reading Cracking the Code, The Fascinating Truth About Taxation in America by Peter Eric Hendrickson. I learned that the federal income tax has been misapplied for over 75 years. After reading the book and looking at the tax code for myself, I learned that the money I make from my job isn't taxable. Cracking the Code completely uncovers and lays bare the truth about the federal income tax and what it really applies to, how it's been misapplied for decades, and how you can use this new knowledge to take back what's rightfully yours, the money from your labor that the government has no right to. The income tax is a valid constitutional tax, and some people do indeed owe it, but a vast majority of Americans don't owe any tax or owe very little compared to what they've been paying. I have been filing proper, truthful tax returns since 2015. I have had complete refunds of everything I paid in as federal income tax, as well as Social Security and Medicare taxes. I have faced some pushback from both the IRS and the California Franchise Tax Board, but because I know the truth about the tax, I have been able to respond to the IRS and Franchise Tax Board in a meaningful manner, which holds them accountable to the actual written law. It may seem unbelievable, and you may ask, how can this be possible? You must visit losthorizons.com and spend some time reading the site. On losthorizons.com, you will find over 1,000 examples of complete refunds by readers of the book like me. You will also find the Every Which Way But Loose collection, which shows many examples of people who have gone back and forth with the IRS insisting that they owe money, and then the IRS finally concedes that they don't owe anything. In fact, in one of the examples, the IRS claimed someone owed over $100,000, and they ultimately had to admit the person owed nothing. Ultimately, you should get a copy of Pete's book, Cracking the Code. It is a must-read if you want to learn how to keep the money that is rightfully yours. It will be well worth your time. And now I want to show you my documents and filings and my tax story since I learned about the truth about the income tax.
Alright, I want to start out with my 2014 IRS tax return. As you can see here, I filed 0 under wages, salaries, and tips. Now why did I do this? Well, when you read Cracking the Code, you'll learn that certain terms or words have different meaning in the tax code than they're in common use. So the word wages, employee, employer, trade or business, these are specially defined terms in the tax code, so their normal meaning doesn't apply anymore. So as you'll see, the refund amount I had was $2,642.31. Right? Now as you'll see here, on my 4852, which is what I filed to rebut the incorrect reporting of wages by the company I work for, you'll see I put wages 0, but then I had the federal income tax withheld, Social Security withheld, and Medicare withheld. And you'll see those amounts there total up to $2,642.31. And then you'll see here I got a complete refund of that amount. Now the unfortunate thing is, exactly about 1 year later, after I got my refund, the IRS came after me, claiming that I owed money and that was an erroneous refund. Well, their mechanism for properly getting an erroneous refund back is under Title 26 of the U.S. Code, Section 7405, Action for Recovery of Erroneous Refunds. And you'll see here, any portion of tax imposed by this title, refund of which is erroneously made within the meaning of Section 6514, may be recovered by civil action brought in the name of the United States. So they essentially, if they erroneously refund you, they have to take you to court to get that money back. They can't just unilaterally say, no, wait, you owe us money, give us money back. That's not how it works. But as you'll see from my 2015, you'll see what happened. Or I'll explain shortly. So for some reason, I can't seem to find my scan of my 2015 return. But here's my 2015 4852. And as you'll see, the federal income tax withheld this year, and this is a scheme. What happened is what they've been doing, or they do, is they'll say, they'll give you back the federal income tax withheld, but they'll try to hold the Social Security and Medicare tax. So that's what they did to me in 2015. So as you'll see, I was the federal income tax withheld was $1,243.84. Well, the refund I got was $1,261.06. Now, that is the 1243 plus the 1806 interest, which you'll see here on the check, is 1261.06. So they agreed I had no income, so they gave me the federal income tax withheld, but they didn't return the Social Security and Medicare. And what you'll learn in Cracking the Code is that those are surtaxes on having been paid wages or having income, federal income. So those are due back as as well as the regular income. So then when we'll look here, okay, so that was my 2015. So then 2016, same thing. I filed 0 wages, and you'll see that my refund amount was $3,792.65. Now, in the meantime of all this going on, for 2014 and 15, they started coming after me saying, "Oh, you owe money, you owe money." Even 2015, they came back and said, "No, that was, you owe us money. That's an error, etc." Well, but they didn't do their legal requirement to get their money back. But as you'll see here, so 2015, that was my amount, $3,792.65, and then you'll see here, that's my 4852 for 2016, which comes out to the same amounts. And then you'll see this is what I would call my victory. Actually, it's a full victory because they agreed that I didn't have any income for 2016. So you'll see they applied the amount that they claimed I owed for 2014 and 15 to my refund. So, but as you'll see here, overpayment for 2016 is $3,792.65. Well, that was the exact amount that was on my tax return for amount due, or my refund. So you'll see for 2016 they completely agreed I didn't owe any tax. So they considered it an overpayment, which is what it is, and they applied it to an amount that they claimed I owed, which legally I didn't owe, but they did what they did. The only way I could have fought that would be to take them to court, which unfortunately at the time I didn't have the knowledge and ability to do, so that's kind of a done deal. But you'll see here in 2017, once again, I filed 0 wages because I was paid 0 wages as defined in tax law. And then you'll see my refund amount is $4,431.49. And again, we'll go to the 4852, and these amounts add up to that, $4,431.49. And then we'll get to the same thing, another agreement that I had an overpayment for 2017, $4,431.49. So they once again agreed that I didn't have any taxable income for 2017. And then they applied the balance to what they claimed I still owed for 2015. So as you can see, that's 2 years that they completely agreed that I didn't know anything. Well, obviously they agreed in 2014, and they agreed in 2015, just they decided they didn't like my return for some reason, and they wanted to try and get me back or take the money back from me, even though they didn't follow the legal procedures that they're supposed to follow. But that's because they kind of do what they want, because not enough people know this information. So that's why I'm trying to spread the word. So for 2018, once again, I filed 0 for wages, and my balance due or refund amount was $4,772.78. But then what you'll notice is, just like they did in 2015, you'll notice the federal income tax withheld was $1,908.62. Well, they did the same thing. They agreed. I didn't get a refund this time, but they agreed that I was only owed $1,908. So what you'll see here, it says tax you owed $0. So they agreed I owed nothing for 2018, but they were trying to keep the Social Security and Medicare. So obviously that's still in process. I'm still going back and forth with them on that. But once again, they agreed I had 0 tax due. And you'll see here, this is the second page of that notice that I got. You'll see here, taxable income, your calculations 0, IRS calculations 0. They completely agreed I had no taxable income for 2018. But they're still trying to hold on to my money. So I'm still dealing with that. Now, the next thing I want to talk to you about is in the whole thing with 2014 and 15. At some point, the IRS notified the state of California that I underreported my income for 2014. So they had sent me notices saying, "Hey, you owe money for 2014. The IRS says so." And I wrote them back and said, "No, they're wrong. You're wrong. Here's the law. Prove otherwise." So they don't like that. So naturally they sent me a thing, we received the protest you filed. We determined that's a frivolous submission, which it wasn't, but that's, their little intimidation tactic. They're trying to get you and tell you, "Oh, we're going to impose a $5,000 penalty on you. Oh no, be scared of us. You better back down." So of course, what did I do? It says, I withdraw my protest. No. Okay, so I didn't withdraw the protest. Now what do you think happened? Oh, well, they didn't like that, and then I went back and forth, telling them, you prove it. I didn't, here's the law. I didn't do anything taxable. Prove it. And you'll see here it says, we based our notice on information received from the IRS. The IRS audited you for not reporting wages in the amount of blah, blah, blah. We were California and federal laws are the same. We follow the findings of the federal report, etc., etc. They kept saying, oh, the IRS says so. The IRS says so, right? So, of course, they have a case. They're going to get me, right? They're going to get me. Oh, man, I should be scared. I should be shivering in my boots. But what happened? So I finally got to the point where I filed an appeal, Office of Taxpayer Appeals. Now, bear in mind, this was 16 months it took to get to this point. From the time they initially told me I underreported my income to the time where I finally got, a resolution. And what does it say? What do you know? It says, after review of the above named appeal, the Franchise Tax Board is now prepared to withdraw the deficiency in the amount of $91 for the 2014 tax year. So, yes, it was only for over $91. That's all they said. But you see, they pursued me for 16 months, thinking that they were going to, if they had any legal basis to continue to pursue me, they would have. They wouldn't have let it go. So the fact that once we came to the appeals process and they had to put up or shut up, they dropped it. So what does that tell you? That speaks volumes. So as you can see here, I hope this gives you an idea here that there is truth to this. When you read Cracking the Code, you'll learn the truth about the income tax and how it doesn't apply to most people's earnings. And again, I say it is a legitimate constitutional tax. This isn't tax protester arguments. This isn't some strange loophole that we've all found and, they're going to figure it out and they're going to shut us all down or anything. This is the actual written law. It's just been horribly misapplied for a long time. And the book Cracking the Code completely uncovers and explains exactly how it all works. And once you read the book, you learn the truth. Then you can start applying it to your tax returns and the money you make. So if you don't legally owe the tax, then you shouldn't pay it, because at the end of the day, you're funding government misbehavior. And as you know, right now we're in the middle of the coronavirus hysteria. If you don't like what the government's doing, you're basically helping funding this bad behavior, because you're giving them money that they technically don't legally owe. So it's very important that we all learn the truth and start to apply it in our own lives and try to understand that the government has less authority than they say they do. But you have to know the truth. Knowledge will forever govern ignorance. So you have to learn the truth. And I hope this has been inspirational. I hope it makes you realize that what I'm saying is true here, and I want you to investigate it for yourselves. Don't believe me. Believe what you read with your own, see with your own eyes. Read it for yourself. You can look at this all for yourself and study it and understand it. So I hope this has been inspirational, and thank you.